go straight to the Eureka Moments session. So Eureka Moments has decided that it's very important that we all come together and share the moments whereby there was a transformation in your life. Because first of all, before you can implement a transformation in your business, it starts with you. And so while you took the structure training, you have realized, learned, discovered, or found something new that you've done in your business that has brought a turn around for you. Now, the meaning of Eureka is the same thing as an aha moment, where you said, whoa, I found it. Yes, I discovered it. Oh, this is what I've been waiting for all the while. So I've been running my business for 10 years and we've not been able to break even. So if you don't take a loan, business will not continue. Sometimes you hit rock bottom, but now you've gotten what it is that's going to bring about that change. Or you've started implementing it. It might not be the exact thing, but you've discovered it. Now, one of the things that take fear, and a lot of times the reason why we don't move forward in our business is because of fear. Sometimes you have a client and you're like, I can't do this job, so that's the reason why you're not pitching. Now, immediately you begin to understand. It happened to me, and I think that's what we're going to do. I'm going to share my Eureka moment first, then you can share yours. I started figuring out that I need to add some structure to my business. So when you need something, no matter how little it is that you need it, no knowledge is wasted. Now let me give an example. So I felt, okay, structure. I have some structure already, but I'm not even sure if the structure I have in my business is the kind of structure I need to move to the next level. So some people would have taken the training and now realize that, whoa, I'm actually on the right path. All I need to do is fasten my belt and move ahead. So it might give you confidence, realization, and then if you haven't had enough structure in your business, or you don't even have any structure at all, or you're just about to start a business, it makes you to realize what you need to do and what you need to do right. And I was at a point that I had a way of working in my business where every staff or member of my organization was becoming family. So tonight, it's about you sharing what it is you've learned in just 1 minute. This is how my business is doing now.
My name is Ginika. I'm the creative director of Yili Footwear. We make, it's a footwear company. We make sandals, we design sandals, and we make handmade sandals with like colorful leathers, and everything is sourced in Nigeria. This year, one thing I knew from like ending of last year, I knew that I needed to structure my business because I already knew, like I know where I want my business to go to, and I didn't know how to get there. So I was just like, how do I get from point A to point B? And then I don't know how I stumbled across, first of all, like I stumbled across like some free guidelines that Tara gave out. So I was like, okay, yeah, this is good. So they also said that like there's a short course that's coming about to structure your business. So when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, this is answered prayers. And it really helped me because it gave me more confidence. It was like I was already on the right track, but this really cleared out the path. And it was like, okay, so I know what to do. I know the phase I'm in right now. I know what next, you know, and I'm really, really grateful about this because before, when it was about structuring, I was getting very anxious. I was like, how am I going to structure my business? It just seemed like some big, you know, like a mountain that I couldn't overcome. But like the business was very straight to the point. It was just very good, very, very good. And really glad that I took part in it, and hopefully very soon you guys should be seeing me around, you know.
My name is Ibirenke from the Earthy Goodness. I make bath and body products using nature-based ingredients. I create all of my recipes by myself from scratch. I do a lot of research. So when I saw one of the training guidelines and I saw on training, every time people ask me, do you do trainings? I'm like, no, I don't do training. I don't know why. I never do them. So I was thinking, how am I going to be able to structure this business where I don't have to be there all of the time and ensure that products are made while I'm away and that people attend to customers when I'm not there? It was beginning to control my life. I sleep really late. I have a young son whom I have to keep up with, but it was getting really tough. But when she told me, in one of the courses, she actually said, you don't reap where you sow, but you reap what you sow. I was like, aha, I need to do this. It is something that I have to do. So I actually got someone who helps out with the products. I don't have to be there all the time. She can make them. She can do stuff. And I'm really glad that I took the training.
Hello everyone, I'm May. I'm the creative director of Appeal by May Clothing. We make bridal wears and bespoke outfits. After I got married, I felt my business was very structured. In my head, it was very, very structured. So after I got married, I mistakenly took a week's break, and it was crazy. And that's when reality dawned on me that I've never started. Like, everything was in chaos. I had to just run down to Lagos Park, and it was just, at that point, I just knew I had to do something. And I'd even sent a series of messages to Mrs. Tara on Instagram, but then she wasn't responding. Then suddenly I just saw this coming up. I was like, yes, this is it. And I signed up for the course. My Eureka moment was the very first class, because she was talking about automating your business. And she mentioned that building structures is putting certain things in place so that the business can continue regardless of the founder. And each of the class was very, very inspirational for me, because it meant like she was able to put so much structure that she had time to even do what she did. And that was just what kept me going all through the classes. And I can say during the classes, I was able to do a lot of things I had planned for my 5-year goals, my 10-year goals. I'm already doing them right now, because it helped me structure my business better. And then she said something while she was talking about automating business. She said, when your business is structured, it attracts the right talents. And that was what I was lacking in my business. A lot of good people, I would come, I would interview them, I would love you to work with me, but then everybody wants to work with Shell and big companies. So when she said that, I really thought about it. Nobody wants to work with someone who is blind. You want to be clear on what to do. And then when she kept on talking about communicating your mission, your vision, and since I started doing that, like, I saw a change in my staff, and then even the new team, like, everybody's so driven. And immediately this course started, I actually missed like 3 classes. I had a very serious health problem. I was in the hospital for a long time. And I was like, this is the way to test it. And yet, to God be the glory. Everything was still good while I was away. And when I came back, so it was just very, very, like, I can say all the classes were my aha moments, because it was just what I wanted and I was prepared for it. So it made me really plunge ahead to all I had planned for me.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Noja, so just came tumbling down. And then I came back and I started trying. You know, when you lose direction, it takes you a longer time to get back on track. So it was like I was swimming against the tide, trying to get back on track with my business and trying to say, this is how I want things to be done. And then there comes this how to structure your business course, right? And in the very first module, there was something on values, your core values. And then I realized that I had core values, but there was a missing link. I had core values in my mind, but it wasn't just translating to my staff. So they were doing their own thing, and I was doing my own thing, and there I was getting frustrated, and I was worrying, why can't you do my thing? And I just realized, hey, these guys don't even know what I stand for. They don't even know what I believe in. They don't know, okay, for instance, this woman does not take bribe. So they'll take, you know, if a situation occurred and there was a reason, they'll do that, and then I would get so upset. This was a big aha moment for me. You know, when she talked about going, I think it was into Exxon, and then she went in and she wanted to talk on the phone, and they're like, oh no, safety. And she walked in, and then she wanted to pick a cup of coffee, and they were like, no, safety. And you know, it was everywhere. So I started that immediately. In short, the first thing I did after I listened to that was to call a staff meeting. And I'm like, everybody, these are the values. These are the things we stand for. I didn't lord it, you know, over them. I just made them realize this is what you stand to gain by having integrity. This is what you stand to be. This is how it's going to be helpful. And everybody was like, oh, I never saw it that way. Well, now you've said it, you know, it's easier. And immediately I noticed a change in attitude. So an environment where some staff, you know, there used to be some contention and everything, all of that just fizzled away, right? Because we're big on teamwork now, and I made them realize why it's better to work as a team. So I communicated my core values to my people. They responded. I added the care the care thing she talked about as well. Yeah, right. So I put in a lot of care currency too, and I made them realize, okay, these core values, this is how it's affecting you. It's not about me, it's about us, it's about the system we're creating. They got it and they started running with it. And I can tell you for the first time in a very long time, I think we're all on the same page in terms of peace. I think we're all on the same page. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. My name is Folakemi Odeshola. Taking this course was a very amazing experience for me because I already knew right from when I started. Okay, so I didn't really know when I started my business that I needed structure, but 3 years down the line in the business, I knew that there was something wrong. But at the time, when I started my business, when I registered and all, I was still employed somewhere, so I didn't really feel like I needed to do anything. But when I resigned and I wanted to take it to the next level, I just realized that there's no next level. We haven't even started. So I had to start from scratch and everything. And these 3 years, into the business is like maybe 3 years back or 4 years back. I just realized that some things were not. So the things that we were supposed to be doing, so design and all that. Sorry, I'm current CEO of Adeline Signature Designs. It's an architecture and interior design company. So, like professional-wise, like we know what we're doing and all, but there are just some things that we're not adding up. There are some things that, even the people that you work with were supposed to know, and all that. So I'm very, very happy that I took the course because she had me from the first module when she talked about vision, talked about your mission, core values, culture, and all that. And then from the second module, when we began to talk about the job description and all, it didn't only help my business, it helped me in dealing with my domestic staff. So I started to realize that even at home, so our helps and maybe the people that help us in the compound, the cars, and we don't even tell them, when they come, we don't induct them, like tell them this is how I want this thing to be. And then you just come out one day and see that someone has done something, you start shouting, why are you doing that? But you never really took time out to. So it helped me self-reflect, and stop really blaming other people for the things that were happening in the business, but actually really reflecting, and looking inwards and saying, okay, have you done everything that you need to do? And I'm just very happy that I took the course. I think it was a blessing for me.
I'm really, really happy I was part of this program. In fact, every module as they came was practicalized. I think Stephanie, I told her every time we had vision, I'm holding a meeting. Mission, I'm holding a meeting. Core value, I'm holding. In fact, my staffs were thinking, what is going on here? And then even when I did the organogram, that's when I realized that there's a lot of things that we don't communicate to our staffs. And when I was making the meeting, I noticed some people were saying, meaning, sometimes some people want to lord over some people in the company. But I was able to tell them, this is where you are, this is your place. You report to this person reports to me. So everyone was clear about everything. So I'm really happy I took this course. Training, very important. I thought, when you train staff, they go elsewhere and you are stranded and depressed. But right now, it's for my own good. It's for the good of Nigeria. I'm happy to be part of it. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Vivian Obidike. I'm co-founder of Bigo Boxes and Snack on Point. I think my case is different from most people because I still do my 9 to 5 and I have a business on the side. So the 9 to 5, currently we know how the economy is. So you come to work every day and you see a list of people leaving. So most people are working on their toes. I've been baking for quite some time and I abandoned it for like 3 years. So I asked myself, my side hustle, how far? What do I do? How do I revive this side hustle that I've been doing for years? And actually I stopped because I couldn't meet up with demand. And because I didn't have good direction, I didn't really know how to hand over my business to someone, how to hand over my recipes to someone without a proper structure in place. So what this course did for me was, I think I was in Ghana, I was in my hotel room when I saw the ad on Stephanie's page. I looked at it and early bird, there was an opportunity for an instrumental payment. So I just paid the first installment immediately. I didn't call my husband, I didn't tell anybody, I just did it. I was already home when I told him, see what I did. See what I had to spend this money. And he looked at it, it was okay. I think this is a brand that we've known. This is a tested and trusted Nigerian brand. So it's good we hear from someone that has done something right and it has stood test of time. So I started the course. From structure, in as much as the business has picked up gradually, but then the care currency, I started from home. I have a house help that her passion is to also learn how to bake. What have I taught her? She has been with me for the past 1 year. At least learn from me. Started from there. Then I brought out all my recipes, got out all my bakery equipment. I was looking at the investment that I am leaving to just waste. Sterilize everything. Then a friend challenged me to make a cake for her son. She's still asking me till today, what is my bill? So when I called, I said, you don't know what you did for me. You challenged me to do this. In front of your son, she was telling the son, Auntie Vivian is going to make your cake. And the boy was busy telling me what he wants, without even knowing if I was ready to do it. So it was a big challenge for me. I did it. It was on Friday. I delivered. And they loved everything about it. And she has given me 2 more deals, and I have 2 more on the line. Then I started off my cookies again, took it to the office, did some experiments, and I'm getting the feedback I want. So what this course really did for me was to wake me up. So in as much as I am working and everyone is on the toes, but I am not afraid anymore. I know I can take it on. I can start my business, I can pick it up, and I know where I'm going. The direction is there. Thank you.
What happened to the men? You don't tell me you didn't have aha moments. Okay, thank you. We have one man. But before we do that, we noticed that the person we have been waiting for, our very own Tara Durotoye. Please, let's welcome her. You're welcome, ma'am. She has a table here reserved for her. I don't know if she wants to come to the table. All right, so what we're going to do, that's why it's good to take opportunities fast. Remember, there was something called early bird payment for the structure training. You're welcome, ma'am. It's a pleasure to have you. Okay. Let's clap for her once again, please. Yes, she did a brilliant job of that training. It was wonderful. I told people, and I always tell the truth, it was so good that I implemented as I was doing the training. So if it's hard, I know myself, I'll say, okay, I'll do this. So we need to do this in June. We start implementing because it will look like it's some difficult thing. And because it was so good, well taught, thank you very much, ma'am. I also realized something about the training, that people like her do not just build themselves for themselves. I realized that she actually had the understanding that every phase she went through in life and all the building stages she was going through were for other people. And I actually said that when I see you today, I will say thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you for putting yourself out there and working so hard, not just for yourself, inspiring people like us. And I was able to implement immediately. So we're just going to take 3 more aha moments before we go to the question and answer segment. So, the man. Okay, so we have a man, so immediately after her, so that it won't look like we're being, okay.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Aunt Tara. Thank you so much for the training program. My name is Fola Shade. I'm the creative director of Dazzle Jewelry. I make lovely tassel jewelry pieces for women to feel beautiful and to feel confident as well. So I've always been an admirer of Tara Durotoye, and from afar I've always admired her, her business, her brand and everything. So when I saw the ad for the course, immediately I took advantage of the early bird and I registered the next day for the course, and I was so ready. I got my book, I got my pen to take notes of every module, and you know, there were so many things I learned from the beginning, the core values, but my aha moment, I'll say, is when she talked about training people. Because, you know, my colleagues in business also, they've complained about staffing. They say it's so difficult to retain a staff, and most of the time they are not even willing to train staff. They say, what's the essence of training a staff when the person just goes? But you know what she said, the coach, she said that you do not necessarily reap where you sow, but you reap where you sow, and you should always train people because you're investing, and it's also for the good of your customers as well, and not just for you only. So that for me was an eye-opener, and I realized that, man, I'm really going to train staff. And right now, or when I started the course, I was the only person. So I was the maker, I was the advertiser, I was the customer care service, I was everything. But you know, going through the course, I realized that my vision was far more than me. I couldn't do this alone. And right now in the course, I have expanded, and I'm still expanding. I have 2 retailers now for my jewelry line, and more down the line. So I'm so thankful that I took advantage of this course, and I just want to say thank you so much, Ma, for this opportunity.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Tolusho Wande. I'm a medical doctor and a public health physician. I run a healthy lifestyle company in Benin City, so I came from Benin. When I saw the advert for the course, I showed my husband, and he said, I immediately do it. I looked at the price. I said, hi, not now. He said, just do it. Don't bother about it. And I'm very happy that I took the course. I took the course at a time when I had a health challenge and I needed a structure in my business, because this is what I do full time. So many people look at me and like, oh, you left your stethoscope and everything and you're doing this. And I'm like, if I'm going to do this, I should do it properly. I should do it well. So at that time, I needed that structure. So the first thing I noticed when I started the course was that I wasn't shouting again. I wasn't shouting again. I was able to write down the job description of everybody. So everybody knew what they were doing and how they were supposed to do it. So I got a notice board in our production room and I stuck it there, the job description, I stuck it there. So when you come to work, you are reading it. When we are closing from work in the evening, normally I will ask, have you done this? Have you switched off? No. It now became a rhyme. So everybody will say, have you switched off the lights? Have you switched off the oven? You know, so it made the work very easy. And I realized that the first time I was ever going to leave my business was in December. I went on vacation. And by the time I came back, I was not able to follow my accounts because they just told me. There was no proper way. There was no proper way we were documenting before I went on vacation. So I didn't know if money was missing or not. But I got a book after. So whoever is handling the account knows that this is what is expected of me. This is how it is supposed to be done. The person that is supposed to go to the bank knows that I'm the one that is supposed to go to the bank. I should bring this back. So there was proper structure. And for the first time, I hit a target. I hit an amount in our company account that I had never done. It had never happened. I was surprised. As at the end of the month, when I looked at it, oh, okay, that's 70-something thousand naira I paid. You know, it was really worth it. And then the other thing was in, I think, module 2, when Tara talked about the owner of the business is the custodian of the culture of the business. You know, I said my staff cannot be somebody else from outside. They would only reflect me. So what do I want them to reflect? So I have to be that thing that I want them to reflect. So it was a constant, I had to do it constantly. And one thing that happened was when my business it's a complex, the downstairs, there's a food business downstairs, a big food business in Benin City. The staff of that company refer people to Healthy Bar. You want to work, go to Healthy Bar. They have space in their company, but they see my staff, they see how fulfilled they are, they see how they go home every day. I have 12 staff. You know, when they are going home, everybody is happy, even though it's been a busy day. So they can tell people that come upstairs, go and apply upstairs. They don't tell people to come and apply in their own company. They tell them to come upstairs and come and apply. So I'm really grateful. Thank you very much for putting everything to that course. Thank you.
A male, yes, and that's going to be a man, and he raised up his hand earlier.
Yeah.
I just want to say something. If you realize that each person's aha moment is becoming another aha moment for you, because I've just gotten more Eureka moments as each person is speaking. So this is a wonderful environment to be in. And let's have the first male for the night, which will most likely be the last Eureka moment before we go to the question and answer session.
Thank you. My name is Oluwase Igbadebo. I'm a visual artist. And I'm the founding partner and the creative director of House of Bezalel. We're a creative hub into outdoor and indoor creative designs. We do mostly graffitis and murals. You might have seen some of our work around Lagos State. We did a lot of work for Lagos at 15. Okay, thank you. So, my aha moment, the biggest aha moment was when I saw the advert on Instagram. I told my partner, Dami, aha! I was like, okay, so this is what we've been waiting for. Because there was a lot of tension in the organization as at then. Because most artists, which I also was a victim, we are not really organized in terms of when it comes to business and the likes, paperworks. We stay in our sanctuary, the studio, we paint, and then we understand how artist feels. So I had to, by the way, our company is 1 year and 6 months. So at the point of establishment, I had to oh my God, read everything I had to know on business, read on finance, read on marketing, because I have to be the face of the company and all that. So I told my partner that, so we can't joke with this. We have a lot of tension right now. We are not organized, our finance, we don't even know how money is moving in and getting out. So when I put in for the class and everything was going on well, but one thing I held on to most importantly was business mentorship. So there have been people around me that I'm not engaging effectively enough. So I held on to that and it's working well for us now.
The reason why they were asking that question is because they know the facilitator is Tara Durotoye, and I said no. She facilitated this training because she was able to build a business that is working. And so if you are a business owner or an aspiring business owner, what you need to do is learn from someone that's been able to do something right, male or female. So we need one more male in the house to prove to them that it's not about a female thing or a male thing, it's about doing things right. All right, give him the microphone. Thank you very much. Clap for him.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Ben Akan. I am the CEO of Greener Living Company. I just stumbled here because, let me use the word stumbled. I was listening to the radio a couple of days ago and I heard that you're having a program today. And they were asked to do a text message on if you want to participate. I had to do that night, and I got a message back that I have been selected to come over. I'll say I don't live in Lagos, I live in Akwa Ibom. I'm running a farm, Greener Living. So I felt, because I'm passionate about my business, I want to take it to the next level. So coming here is an opportunity for me to learn. I've heard so many beautiful girls talking about how wonderful. And so I am, as I'm sitting down, I'm trying to write a few things down. At the same time, I'm learning from you all. So it's an opportunity and I'm grateful. Thank you very much.
All right, so that's about that. And I want to say we actually gave out a few slots for people to come and be a partaker of this opportunity, but I think you should take it a little bit further, because for Eureka Moments to happen in our lives, we can't do it in our bedroom while sleeping. Thank you so much. A round of applause for her. And we can't do it in our bedroom. You have to do things that will cause Eureka Moments to happen. And so that is the reason why I advised you to take a training, take a course, get a mentor, go to places that you can be inspired where Eureka Moments can happen. We're going to take just 2 minutes to introduce to us the founder of Trayny online course, and she's going to talk to us for a few minutes before we bring her up the question.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Stephanie Obi. I'm the founder of Trayny, and I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you for honoring our invitation. And I don't know if imagine how I feel. All the hard work is paying off. I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you for sharing your stories. So we decided to launch training because we realized that there was a big gap in our market. Everybody keeps saying start a business, grow a business, but we are all doing the same hustle. We're all struggling with the same things. And some people have already gone through this years ago, and some of us are still trying to catch up. So I decided to create a platform that bridges the gap. And it's taken me a long time to gather the liver to actually do it. So now that I've done it, I'm very excited that it's working well. So last year, I shared the vision with a few business leaders. And after my meeting, Mrs. Tara Durotoye said, Stephanie, let's do it. Let's go. In fact, her ginger was even more than my own ginger. Because maybe I would have still be saying, okay, let's take a step. But she was very passionate about getting her online course out there. And that's to show you that she's very passionate about impacting lives, helping to build more, to build stronger Nigerian businesses. And it's not just, the talk, it's actually the work. She's actually doing the work. Even for her to be here today, oh God, it's because of love that she's here. So please join me to welcome Mrs. Tara Durotoye, our item.
A round of applause for Stephanie Obi once again. I want to say a very big welcome to our very own Mrs. Tara Durotoye. I don't know if you're excited. I am excited. Now, whenever there's an opportunity for me to be inspired, to learn, to grow, to expand, I'm over the moon. And what makes it more beautiful is that we get to do it with one another. And she's worked so hard to impact her own business, but also to impact other lives. We've learned so much, but you get the opportunity to ask her one life-transforming question. And a Eureka moment must happen, because Eureka Moments is about building successful lives, businesses, and careers. And you have to make that happen here tonight. So go straight to the point, don't ask any funny question. And once again, we want to say a very big thank you, because we know it's part of sacrifice that's made her come here tonight. Thank you very much, ma'am. Okay, so the microphone goes round. Let's do it fast and sharp. Ask that one question, and it has to be business related.
My name is Tara Durotoye. I'm the current founder and lead instructor of Dolphin Swim School and Dolphin Aquatic Center. We specialize in teaching women and children how to swim with female instructors, certified female instructors. We are in the business of reducing the rate of drowning in Nigeria by a significant percentage.
So if you like to learn how to swim and you are conscious of a man touching you when you are swimming, she's the one providing the solution for that problem. So sign up for her program tonight.
Thank you. So my question is about the financing in terms of paying yourself. So I read it and I was like, paying yourself a commission or paying yourself a salary. Now, if you're not able to do either, and all your source of income is coming from that business, how do you balance it? Because at the same time, you don't want to run the business to the ground, and at the same time, you need to keep your so especially if you've transitioned from 9 to 5 into business, into entrepreneurship. So you have this way, this salary, mental exactly, and you have to downgrade most of the time. But keeping that balance, I'm seriously struggling with it, because at the same time, I don't want to run my business bankrupt, but then I also don't want to be, personally not what's the English? Not able to meet needs. Exactly.
Okay, so I think that generally when you're speaking this way, many times it's because you feel like your business is not generating enough money. But let me make it clear. As long as you are paying your other instructors, You are paying them for a value that they are bringing. You are bringing a value. One of the things you want to learn is the discipline. See, when your business starts making a lot of money, if you have not disciplined yourself in paying yourself a salary, no matter how small it is, no matter how small it is, I said make it what? Consistent, isn't it? No matter how small it is, make it consistent. It's not just what you're paying yourself that is the issue. It's also the fact that you're creating a discipline of earning a salary. You see, a lot of times when you say small businesses in America are the ones who fuel the economy of the US. The reason why those businesses can fuel the economy is because before you start your business, you go to the bank for a loan. Okay? In the US, isn't it? When you go to the bank for a loan, many times they will ask you to do a business plan. Okay? The business plan will have you write how much you're going to pay yourself. The bankers will look at your business plan. They will critique it. They will see where their money is going to come out from. And those are the things that forces businesses in those countries, for example, to be structured. We don't have that. So we go into that business with a business idea, the audacity to do it, the tenacity to keep at it every day. You have to train yourself in discipline. When you collect a loan, you have to pay that money back, right? But in this case, many times we have not collected a loan, maybe from the bank, for example, maybe from our husband, maybe from our parents. But we need to also know that our entrepreneurial journey is also a journey of training ourselves. So my advice to you is, Deroju, pay yourself something. I know you are earning X amount when you're working in corporate, and I understand. You cannot pay yourself what you're paying yourself in corporate because your business can't afford it anyway, but your business can afford you to pay yourself something. That's something you have to pay yourself. That's one. Second thing is, you're a Christian, you need to tithe.
Good evening. My name is Eureka Moments, founder of the Eureka Goodness. We make bath and body products using nature-based ingredients. My goal is to help people to make a natural transition to using natural products instead of using synthetic products that actually harm the skin in the long run. So here's my question. How do you handle potential investors as a micro business? I've had people come to me to say, oh, I like what you're doing. I would like to invest. But my issue is I don't want to grow too big too fast without putting proper structures in place and without actually learning much more in doing a business. I don't just want to have investors who will start breathing down my neck about making returns, paying them out, and things like that. I just want to know how to handle it.
Okay, so I didn't hear what business you were in.
Okay, I make bath and body products using nature-based premium quality ingredients.
Okay. So, you know, a lot of times as entrepreneurs, when investors come to us, there are two ways. We are quick to say, we don't want people breathing down our neck or whatever. But many times, the reason why startups in the US, for example, get investors so that they can do their business well. You have the ingredients, you have the product, but you don't have the distribution channel. And so the investor comes to you because they want you to be able to expand. So you have to be asking yourself, what is it that the investor is looking for? Is the investor looking just to have, I want to put my money in something that I can make some money from? Or am I putting my money in a business and I want the business to scale? So you have to ask yourself, is it to scale or just something for them to make money off of? So for me, one of the things I always say about investors is that any investor that wants to invest in Masuka must be somebody who's a strategic partner. In my own opinion, I wanted someone who understood beauty, who had worked in beauty, who has made a success out of a beauty brand. I will not collect money from somebody who's just giving me for this. I want to invest cash. I want to put cash into your business. Now, there's some people who already have a good business plan. They have an idea of how fast they want to go, but their limitation is that they don't have inventory, they don't have stock, they have interest. People are calling, they are not able to meet the demand that they have. If somebody comes with money, collect the money. Because you realize that if I produce X amount, every day people are calling me and they want 200 pieces, and I only have financial capacity is my real issue, to produce only 20, when every time 50 people have asked me, 60 people have asked me, so you ask yourself, if 50 people have asked me, 60 people have asked me, and I don't have enough stock to sell to them, and it's money that's in my dish, if you have somebody who's offering you money, you collect it. Now, how do you know whether your business is ready? First of all, it's about you, the businesswoman. It's about you understanding your business. And you made a very strong point. I need to understand my business better. Meaning I'm not yet ready, because I don't understand my business as well. And that's one of the things I always say, don't go and collect the bank loan. Many times I say, go through understanding where your revenue is coming from, which of the areas where money is coming into your business is the most profitable. Understand that sometimes people will have a school buy something from you once every 3 months, and you say, oh, I had a business. No, you only have one customer, right? And you have one customer, the customer buys from you once in 3 months. What happens to the 2 months? The first 2 months, right? You have to ask yourself, oh, is it a business where I have a corporate customer, I have the one customers, single individual customers who are buying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or buying regular, people that are buying a lot. How do I increase the people who are buying corporates? How do I increase? So you now understand your business. And then you understand your business, you know where your money is coming from, where your profit is coming from, and the areas where growth opportunities are. So in my business, for example, we found that having retail stores is very costly. The cost of renting, the cost of staffing, the cost of maintaining the stores, the cost of upgrading the stores. But it does other things for us. It gives us brand visibility. It does not force us to be totally dependent on other distributors. So that if the situation like uncertainty comes through, you can tell people, from today on, you cannot buy my products anywhere else other than a Tara store, right? That is a form of distribution channel. But the question is, why am I doing retail stores? And why I need to find more retail stores? Yes, because I understand that they do this and this for my business. But I also know the role that the makeup school does for my business. I also know the role that the beauty rec model business does for what it does for my business. Whether it's in terms of brand equity, or it's also in terms of volume. So you're selling to 10,000 people who are buying 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, and they are reselling, right? You say to yourself, oh, these are the gaps in this area, but I know how much money I'm using. So you need to understand your business. I'm not going to take this time to do so. It is a discipline, like I said, entrepreneurship journey is also a journey of discipline. It's sitting still with your business and analyzing the numbers. Today, I generated 5,000 naira. In that 5,000, 1,000 came from who? 2,000 came from who? 3,000 came from who? And that 3,000 that came from who? Has she been coming before? How do I? And it's in all that understanding that gives you the confidence for you to say, okay, I'm ready to get a loan, I'm ready to get an investor, I'm ready to go and borrow money from family and friends. I hope that's helpful.
Good evening,
If you don't clap very well, I'll just stand the back.
Good evening. Okay, my name is Lara Fulubimi. I'm an architect and interior designer. I run 2 companies. So I was saying, I'm Lara Fulubimi, architect, interior designer. I run 2 companies. Design Orbit, which is the architectural consultancy and interior design, and then Decor Orbit, which is a retail line for decorative wall finishes for interior projects. Okay, I came on this course to be able to structure my business in order to free up my time to pursue some other interest. I was particularly interested in Tara because you have like 19 stores. 25. Oh, beautiful. You know the fact. Well, I celebrate you. Okay, fine. And presently, the retail business, we have 2 stores. We're about to open the 3rd one, and then we have a 1 collection point in Abuja. And I want to be able to let go of the stores. Like, I want them to run totally independent of me while I'm able to pursue my other professional stuff. And the question, I have is, how are you able to totally separate yourself from the stores, kind of? Because I saw one of your Instagram posts and it was like CEO store, the excitement, CEO store visit or something like that.
CEO
tour. Something like that, yeah, like you went around your outlet, exactly, meaning you probably don't even visit some of them in a whole year or something. I mean, for you to go around 25 or how many in a year and the ones outside the country. So what is the one or two things I need to do to be totally off this and have them run independently?
My role is now more strategic, right? I'm still responsible. 2 people report into me directly, but those 2 people that report into me both have about 40 years combined experience in running businesses. What that means is that the 2 of them worked in corporate. Both of them worked for multinationals. One of them worked for Shell and KPMG. Another one worked for Microsoft and Diageo, Nigeria. Prior to coming to Nigeria to work at Diageo, she worked for a beauty brand in the UK before she came to Nigeria. Now, those 2 people that reported to me, their age, they are in their 40s. Okay? When you have to lead 2 people who have 5 people who report into them, it's a full-time job. My job includes, for example, managing or leading their roles. So one of them, his role is operations. That means she's responsible for administration, she's responsible for finance, she's responsible for supply chain. The other person is responsible for distribution. She's responsible for the commercial part of that business development, meaning all the money that comes in. Now, House of Tara is how many years? How many years? 20 years. It's 20 years this year. What you see when I say it gives me liberty to do other things does not mean I'm no longer running the business. So I have 2 phones. One of them has only WhatsApp groups in it. The WhatsApp groups are groups of nearly 1,000 Tara beauty entrepreneurs across Nigeria. Those WhatsApp groups, they don't know Monito. They don't know because my name is recorded as something else. But that is a way of me monitoring what each account officer is doing. Okay? When you see me going to visit those branches, somebody had said earlier how I said, as the business owner, you are the custodian of the culture of the organization. I still run the business. I also manage the internal control department. Internal control are the people who watch over leakages and plug those leakages. So every week, I have a meeting with someone. She used to work for Orange Industries, the guys who produce the vitamin C medicine, the famous vitamin C medicine. She worked in that company for 6 years. She works as our internal, and she reports into me. What she does is to come and tell me, for example, what you call cash assurance, meaning how much money did each House of Tara store generate in this month? How much money did they pay into the bank? That lady who's in charge of operations and she covers finance, she tells me how much money House of Tara stores generated. Cumulatively. This other lady comes to tell me how much it generated and what? How much was banked. Why? Because they want to be 100%. What she's checking is that the money that is in their till is what is in the bank. That's what we call cash assurance. She also does something called mystery shopping. Mystery shopping is when she sends people to House of Tara stores, gives them money to go and offer a service, to be served, ask them certain questions or things they should look out for. The people come back and report to her, to tell her what they discovered. She has to report that to me. So if she reports thefts, she reports sales service sales. You know, service sales, you cannot track it. It's not like products where you can count. They report these things. That's another work. The second work that they do is that they go shop to shop to do what you call stock management. So they go to a store, they arrive there. I sent you 3,000 lipsticks in the beginning of the month. It is now the end of the month. Your machine says that you sold 1,500. The bank says that you put in money for 1,100. Where's the rest? Where's the gap? Let's start looking for the money. No, let's not. We don't think you stole the money. We think that the product got lost. So let's start looking for the product because we believe the best in you. So we check the stock. Check. We now see that somebody did not write 50 pieces, and the 50 pieces is here because of mistakes and errors. Somebody was rushing when the stock came, and they tell the person you need to be careful next time. In some cases, they cannot find it. They have to split the money amongst all of them in that store, and they have to pay the deduct from their salary. Then they come back to report that to me, so I can tell you which House of Tara stores have thieves. So when you see me going to the stores and jumping, it's not because I don't know that there are some people that are criminals there. We're just waiting for their cup to be full, right? So she tells me about cash assurance, mystery shopping. She also tells me about out of stock products. Then she tells me how much of House of Tara money is outside on credit sales. So she'll say to me, this month, this is how much the sales guys have generated from credit. That means if House of Tara if this X company has a problem today, we will not be able to get this money. So Tara Durotoye, make a decision whether these are the kinds of people you feel that we should allow to owe us. Because there are some people that if they owe you, if anything goes wrong with their business, if they die today, that's the end of that money. So they want me to make a decision in my head to say, this business is structured enough to know that if this person dies tomorrow, there's still a system in place to ensure that that money is paid to House of Tara. The team may not know that, but I know because I've been in the industry longer and I've had to relate to some of these big players in the past. So that is only for internal control, okay? The lady who's in charge of operations, she covers, number one, finance, okay? How much is House of Tara generating per business, whether it's from the makeup school, it's from events, it's from Tara Beauty Entrepreneurs, it's from school. How much is House of Tara generating in each of these different business interests? She shows me graphs to show what we have done year to date. That is from January till now. Compared to last year, are we growing? Then compared to our targets, are we doing well or we are doing less? Do you see? I look at these businesses and think to myself, what is wrong with school? Or what is wrong with the stores? Do we need more training? And then by listening to her, she's not a makeup artist. She has never done makeup. The lady is an accountant. She's a chartered accountant. So she has explained the numbers to me with graphs. I can sit and say, how come our reps are not buying as much? This may be the reason why. I will analyze and tell her what I think. She can go back and look at the numbers and tell me that, oh, what you said is correct, or what you said is not correct. That's brain work. When I have these meetings, I leave. Ask Stephanie when she comes and she's around. I will be sleeping when I get into my car. You say, did you go to the farm? I am like somebody that went to the farm. I'm saying this to say that I work full time. I may not do makeup, okay? I may not go to everything that House of Tara is doing because there are people whose work it is. Sometimes being there is a distraction to other people, right? I may not do all those things, but there are other things I do. So for example, if you invite me to London Business School to come and speak, who am I pushing? If you invite me to LSC, it's House of Tara pushing. So I'm going to speak because they believe that I have built a business. So what I'm doing is still doing marketing, PR work for House of Tara. I've just done PR work for House of Tara here now. How many of you use Tara products? You are not enough. You need to increase the number. Okay? And so just to say that. The second thing you said was, and I felt I needed to rectify that, because sometimes people want to structure their businesses so that they can leave the business. Okay? I don't advise that because there's an energy that you bring to that business, and when you take it out, it can shrivel it. Okay? You may have the principle of having people doing what they're supposed to do, which is great, but there's something that you bring, there's a flair, a flavor that you bring. Now, what will happen is that if you train people, you put people in the right places, many times it can give you the liberty to step up, not necessarily to step out. Okay? All of us here, we're not yet ready to step out of our business. Please leave that in.
So let's build our businesses such that they can make money, we can employ more people. But liberty to do other things, not necessarily leave the business. Do other things, meaning I don't have to go and do Mrs. Oshibajo's makeup. If I go to her house to go and do her makeup, she will even be wondering what happened. Abi? But we have over 80 makeup artists working at House of Tara. We are the beauty company in Nigeria that has the highest number of makeup artists that work. We are the largest employer of labor for makeup artists. Thank you. But I don't do makeup, okay? I don't attend to customers in stores because I am sitting down in that place doing what? The guy who's doing human resources is reporting into me, okay? Why does he report into me as a human resources person? Because I am the one who is the spirit of the business, and I need to ensure that the people within that business carry that same spirit. They cannot report to anybody else. The HR department needs to report into me. And I want to see how people are being trained. At House of Tara, every employee must have minimum of 2 trainings every quarter. So he needs to come to me every week to say, this is the training. I said, I was getting ready to come here now. He had come to me to say, they have a training tomorrow on Joy by Julie. He's coming in and they're bringing in staff from across the country, right, for that training. He needs to come and give me an update on that training, on what they are doing to prepare for him tomorrow. Okay? Some people just finished a John Maxwell training for 6 weeks on growth. And every Friday they were going to this John Maxwell coach to train them on growth. All these things are things he has to report to me. He has to be able to tell me, this line manager has assessed 3 of the people that work for her. And she found out that one has a confidence issue. Another one has a emotional intelligence problem. This one has a technical problem in accounts, even though she's an accountant. House of Tara's HR's responsibility is to what? Identify and then create opportunities for those people to be better at what they were doing before. That HR guy needs to report into me. When House of Tara was put on the list of top 100 best places to work for in Nigeria, it did not just happen like that. It happened because there was a target and there was a determination by me or working through the HR department to make it happen. Now, we did not know that in Nigeria they used to rate it. We didn't know. We knew that internationally they used to rate it. But we knew that there were metrics that they were using. We also know that the international ones are not coming to Nigeria, but we're going to measure ourselves. It was now great to see that a company in Nigeria was doing it and they had recognized us. Those things are my targets. That's how I measure how well I'm doing my job. When House of Tara is a best place for people to work, it is a way to say increase my salary. Yeah? So, I will start a training on how to run your store. How to run a store. And that's why you're talking about stock management. These are things I didn't know too. I learned after I suffered. So I will put together a program because everybody wants to have a store in Nigeria. It's standard. But a lot of people don't know how to. How do you manage stock? How do you standardize things in the stores so that you can open more? Because guess what? Nigeria needs to have businesses that can employ 100 people. Let's just have more. We're not looking for businesses that will employ 20 million people. No, let's just have multiples. But the only way we can grow and have 100 stores, 50 stores, or employ 100 people is when our businesses are structured in a particular way that can help us to scale. So I'm coming. Definitely will help me. I trust you. You guys should look out for that program. That program.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Yemi Siobe. I'm the MD/CEO of ProThrive Acetyl Limited. We make grandiose pap, which is pap in dry form, for your convenience.
We know your brand. Don't you know our brand? Go and buy it from Ebano.
Thank you very much. Okay, so 2 major questions that I have. The first one is, I know you do a lot on Instagram, Facebook, and all of that to promote the brand. But I know there's also a lot that goes beyond that because it's not everybody that is on social media. So one major challenge that we are facing is to get a lot of people to know about the product and go for it. So more of sales and marketing. So for an FMCG product, what kind of activities? Because when we go talk to consultants and all of that, the bill that they bring, I just shrink back and say, okay, right now I'm not ready, I don't have this funds. What else can we do to be able to push that, to get the volumes that we're looking for? Then the second thing is, just like you said, you can't leave your business because of the virality that you put into the business. But we find out that, yes, we have our processes, we have our organogram and all of that. But a lot of times, when the owner of the business is not around, people tend to just relax, and do things maybe just as they wish, not as they wish, at their own time. They will still get it done. But when you're there, everybody's scrambling and trying to do and all of that. But when you're not there, they relax a bit. How can one ensure that at every point in time, whether you're there or not, that people get to do what they need to do?
So first of all, it's about who you employ, right? You have to employ people who are self-motivated. It's not about whether you are in the business or not, I will keep moving. So it's also about how we're employing people, the kind of people we're employing, and also what we reward. So if we see people who generally are go-getters in our business, how well are we recognizing them, right? Because what we recognize, what we reward, what we penalize will determine the sort of culture we'll have in our businesses. So sometimes people who are very energetic, they are go-getters. When they work in your company, do you tell them things like, calm down? No. So there are statements like that. When I say what you allow, what you encourage, what you reward, what you penalize, shapes. So sometimes it's other staff who make a comment like, calm down. Why are you always, right? And the person now begins to step back. And it happens in businesses very easily. It's a joke, sometimes it's a joke. Well, the person's already in their mind thinking that, maybe my own is even too much. And then you make a slight statement like that. So the question is, how well do we reward, recognize people who are like that? How many people in your organization are the type of people who don't wait for you? There are people like that. Am I correct? Yes. Everybody will never be like that in your company. But those people who are like that, we need to find ways to recognize them, reward them. By doing so, what we're saying is this is the standard. But sometimes we have people who behave badly. But by what we don't say, we are saying it is okay. And that now begins to shape our culture. That's number one. Number two. So I think there are two. The first one was the kinds of people that you first of all employ. Two, the second thing is what do we reward, what do we recognize, what do we penalize? Those are the things that will shape how people begin to behave in our companies. The third thing about you have your organogram and all those things. Many times it's because it's about performance management, right? Which is still, I think, like what I said, the second one. We have these organograms, but do we really follow? Because let me tell you, all of you that went through structure class, the minute you don't adhere to your policies that you created, all this money you paid, which is very small, is nothing. You have gone back to square one. So when I talk about discipline, I mean you have to discipline yourself to be the person who is insisting to follow the rules. Like when you tell your children, read your Bible or pray before you sleep. If you don't pray, don't have that expectation. You may have a child that from heaven it came like that. You are lucky. If you say, read a book, how many times do they see you reading a book? It's the same way with policies. You see, the work of structure, there's one part that's about creating organogram, putting those instructions, roles, job description. That is first work. The second work is ensuring that every time somebody comes with a problem, you are solving that problem, not from your head, but from the policy. And every day you don't refer your team to the policy, you don't refer your team to the process. What you are saying is you are dropping the standard. You almost have to be like a mad person. That is, I am like a robot. If you come and say good morning, the next question is, what does the policy say about that? I've told them house of time not to use the word structure. You know why? Because when they want to drink water, they talk about structure. Because they have been brainwashed. And you cannot blame any entrepreneur who's like that. Because you know what? We were not trained that way. We did not come with it from our universities. The work that entrepreneurs need to do in terms of training people, we have just started. We are going to be the next education system. Because by the time people finish from school and they come and work with us, we will have to put an academy aside just to begin to train people. So let me tell you, people are coming to us untrained. They've gone to university, but they're coming to us untrained. If you open my handbag now, I have one big book inside. That big book, I bought it 100 and something pounds. I have one of my, the head of retail. She bought that book online, the same book. She does not know I have the book. She's reading the book. I've told her to read the book. And I've told her to send me except paragraph. She does not like she by mistake send me jungle. She does not know I have the book in my bag. So I'm also reading it. Steph, bring out the book. Let them open the book for you to see where I'm reading it. You think I have law school exam. Where is Steph? Thank you. It's my bag there, the black Chanel bag. There's a red book inside. Bring it out and show people the kind of academic work. They have to flip it. No, not like that. Can you see pages? Folds, paper, notes. Can you see? Show the lady behind you. Flip through. Yes, like Bible. No, it doesn't matter. Title does not matter. Go and read your own. No, it's not the title. Open the book. It's the reading that is the real issue. So now you can put the book back inside the bag. Now what I'm trying to tell you is that as you are training, as your people are being trained, you need to be training yourself so that you can check what they are doing. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, you say people don't always behave a certain way when you're around and when you're not around. It's going to change. It's going to change when people are responsible per clusters. This person is responsible for 3 people. That person, and make sure that you have structured reporting lines. How many people reporting to you? And what is their reporting templates? The reporting template should be designed based on their JD. How many staff do you have? 30 staff. How many of them report to you directly? Those 5 that are reporting to you, make sure you have what you call NPR every week. That is, that week on Mondays, for me, as much as I travel, you have to send that thing by email. So if I'm not in Nigeria, you send it by email. If I'm in Nigeria, you will sit in my office and come and present to me. You will do PowerPoint presentation. And you will show me, it's not today. So when makeup artists come and they resign in the House of Power, many times they resign because this is not what we plan to do. We came to paint faces. They are not saying we should come and do a report of how many lipsticks we did, how many eye pencils we did, how many customers came, and how many customers said they were happy. Right? When they start reporting those things, you see what happens that when they sit down, they are reporting to you. They'll be like, did I just joke this week? They become ashamed because it's like showing your report card. So people are not working, no problem. Don't say anything to anybody. Every Monday, when they just come, and the report must be precise. What will happen is the first time they do it, you will start seeing areas where you need to tweak. So, for example, you say every week you need to produce 10, let's say the people that are reporting to you, produce 10 bags. The report should tell them to say how many they actually produce. When they produce only 2, the next week they produce 5. The upper week they produce 1. They will now say, but I've produced 5 before now. Why am I stepping down? Why am I screwing myself? You will leave that room ashamed of themselves. You don't even have to say anything to them. So that reporting will also help them behave better. It's because everything is fluid. And it's because no one is managing their performance. In House of Power, we manage your performance to how you treat your team members. We do what they call 360 degrees feedback. So me, every year, I stand in front of a room of 100 and something people, 160 people, and they rate me. Yes, they must. So I will stand there, and one of the things that Tara Durotoye needs to start, what she needs to stop, this year they said I should stop removing my wig in public. Can you imagine someone said that inside the list? Another person said, when I come to your house to do your makeup, you should give me tip. you don't give me tip. I say, I'm not one of your customers. I'm pushing your brand for you, right? But that's how she feels. And if the CEO can stand, and people will write their feedback on paper, so you cannot, and I will collect it myself, so you cannot not write. The only thing is that you don't write your name on it. I come table by table and I collect it, 100 and something sheets. I sit down and read through every one of it. By the time I analyze it and share with you what people are saying about me, positive, negative, and all that, if you are the manager, but people must do the same for you. My name is on the door of the company, Tara. If I can do it, then you must do it. So when you start treating people badly, and then your team members say, you treat me like crap, you say things that make me feel small. By the time we are praising you and receive this, you will feel bad. You'll be like, why should I be talking to someone in a way? That way, people behave better because they are being checked. Is that the last one? Are we learning?
Yes. Thank you, everyone. I'm May. I'm the creative director of Eureka Moments. We cater for right for their big day, and then now we have training. Going to train individuals to be expert tailors. So my question has three sides. The first one is, how did you not like you didn't stop working, but now people don't really want you to be the ones to come to their income, like you said, they'll be surprised to see you. So how did you get to that level where you were no longer the face of the painting? Because during the course of the year, after I started that training, I had a very serious challenge that I was in hospital for a while. And then throughout that period, people would come, I want to see me, if I don't see me, I want to do anything. And it kept on going like that. So it's really difficult, even though we put structures in place, it's still difficult. A lot of brands, it's me they've spoken to. So when they come, it's me they want to see. They just want it to be me. How were you able to make that work for you, that you're able to step back? Then secondly, that's about staff leaving. Yes, I learned a lot about you through and telling us to train people irrespective. But it's always a very emotional moment when you train somebody and then you feel like, wow, I finally continue. And then it's like you start the process over again. How do you get over that? Because it's going to continue happening. I just want to encourage myself when it comes to everyone. Then lastly, how did you group yourself to, like now you're training us, and I'm sure another batch is going to come. You keep meeting more people. I feel like there's a lot of mental work that you do. I get easily overwhelmed. So like, and I know I have a lot to do, especially because I started training and then I just started free, and it's very overwhelming. I know next now I'm going to start people already showing interest, and I'm already getting on that. I get my little group that I'm training now, they're so attached to me. And I'm scared of more people getting attacked, and they keep calling me, I just want to know your information. And then they want me to keep telling them I'm trying to pull back. At the same time, I still want to be in the forefront. I want to know results. Thank you very much.
So I think the first question is, how did I? Yes, the first one was. Okay, so how did I stop? Mine was dramatic. My business stopped for a long time. The first thing I did was, I started to send my makeup artists to the top jobs. The first top job was Mary Baraga's makeup. I knew his wife. His daughter did not speak to me for 5 years because of that. Yeah. Because she felt, who are you? Who are you that you're sending someone to handle my mother's makeup? The mother didn't have a problem with it. But sometimes we have to train our customers as well. And in training your customers, you have to also recognize that you will suffer. But it's a short-term pain for a long-term gain. As long as the quality of the work that you're producing. Because there's some people who decide that I want to focus on the designing and the quality of the dress that's produced. Okay? But I don't want to interface with customers. I want somebody else to interface with the customers so that I can focus on this. If the quality of what is delivered to them at the end of the day is superb, they will no longer need. Customers are actually looking for the quality of the work to be good. That's the first. You want people to be able to say, when you wear your dress, as you step out, let people say, wow. But let it not be that they love you, but the dress is not nice. I remember there was a famous cake maker when I was doing bridal makeup. The guys came in terms of grandiousness, the grandness, the beauty of the cake, but his cake wasn't sweet. Okay? There was somebody else whose design was simple, but cake, the taste of the cake was, you ask, who did the cake? People want to eat that cake. Right? You can decide that I want to be the person who, I want my customers, I'm not the greatest designer, but I want my customers to have an amazing experience with me. You can decide that's what you want. Or you can decide, I get overwhelmed with people. I don't really want to have to deal with customers, but I want them to have an amazing outfit. Okay? You may not be able to have both. You may be difficult to have both. And so you choose which one you want to be. It doesn't really matter that clothes doesn't necessarily need to be amazing, but it's okay. But they love me because I have an amazing personality, and my amazing personality is the value that I bring. That choice is yours. Well, how did I do mine? I made a decision. I didn't want to, and I started to turn down customers and say, if the person says, oh, it's only you that I want to do the makeup or whatever, I'll tell them I'm not available to do it. Okay? I also ensured that I started having the people who I was pushing out. So people started getting used to seeing that particular place. So I'm going, you go there as my assistant, I do the white wedding, you do the traditional, I do the white, I'm there, you do the white wedding, I do the traditional. After a while, the sister of the bride was getting married, and saying, both of us, we went for the sister's home together, so people already see your face. By the time we come to the house, mom already goes, Caroline, hey, Caroline, how are you? Mommy, congratulations, thank you. Remember, it was just 6 months ago that we did yesterday's one. See how God did it for us, see God like getting married, and stuff like that. At the end of the day, Caroline can go and do the makeup, and that was how he said to win me off the customers, okay? That was one of the things I did. It was dramatic. I actually put a newspaper interview at that time to say I was no longer going to be doing makeup. I lost a lot of business in that season, but today, there's no customer that calls for bridal makeup. I will even ask. I will even remember that I used to even do makeup. There's one person here I did have makeup. I did Jojo's makeup for our wedding. When she was getting married. How many years ago? 10 years ago. And I'm sure that the last time I did anybody's makeup, maybe it was 6 or 7 years ago. Yeah, so it's a choice you have to make. The second question was? Okay, so that emotional thing is going to be emotional. It will never stop being emotional, my love. Just know. But you have to have techniques. So one of the techniques I use to not feel too bad, even though I feel bad, is to remember that the investment I've made in this person, Nigeria is better for it. You know we are pro-Nigeria. Nigeria will console me. You have left me better. So it means that when you are going to start your own business, you are not going to start at that low level. Nigeria is better for it. The second thing is, I have made the investment of training you. While I was training you, I was learning to. This thing I'm reading and somebody's reading, do you think it's only for advantage? No, it's also for my own advantage as well. So as I'm training you, I am also being trained. So I am getting better and improving. I'll put that in my next structure. I didn't need to say that before. I just talked about it now. You see, I'm training you now and I'm learning. I just told myself now that as I train you, I'm getting better. So I must not stop training people. I must not stop training people because Nigeria needs it. But I must not stop training people because even I need it. And lastly, like I said, you don't always report you sold, you report you sold. People know that you're training people. When you develop somebody, there's a heart connection. Heart connection is so powerful that the people who are good and who want to stay will stay because of that heart connection. Sometimes the father will say, why are you working? The chicken juju to eat. No, it's not juju, it's a heart connection. So do it for that reason. Now, there are people who are going to stay. And you have to be open-minded to know that there are people that will stay. Know that people that will stay. What did I say? Know that there are people that will stay. Because we have a mindset that people will not stay. Sometimes our body language drives them away. So let us change that mindset. In my mindset, more people will stay than those that will go. Some will go. And when they go, they can become ambassadors. We're doing 1,000 Voices Summit last year. We got a sponsorship of the news. The girl who was sitting at that desk used to work at House of God. She made her empty because forever and ever, Anyone that works in House of Tara will tell you that's my MD. That's what they call me. So they are working in Diageo. They'll still be calling me their MD. So now when they call me, my wife had a baby in my hand. I'm like, go and meet your MD at Diageo to come and go for your baby dedication. But what is happens that there's a heart connection. So they almost feel like if something good happens to them, I will be genuinely happy for them and they want to share with me. Those things are powerful. Nobody can take it away. Sometimes some people send me a message and say, even though I left House of Tara, you showed me what a good boss is and what is not. So when they are working, they are saying, see what Tara did. Those things also make them more more endearing to them. And sometimes they become ambassadors. So somebody wants to work at House of Tara, they tell them, oh, I work there, it is good. They ask me, why did you do it there? It's me that was stupid. Right? But do that for that reason. And it's still going to be emotional. I would never lie to you about that. It's going to be emotional. There was a guy we lost last year. It was very emotional for me. Very, very emotional for me. Because I took courage in saying, you know what? While he was here, he worked. He served. He gave his all. We couldn't pay him for the kind of salary he wanted because his wife was not earning more than him. And his wife was promoted twice. So I asked myself, I don't want him to become emasculated in his house simply because his wife is earning more than his earning. Let him go. But his heart is still here with us.
Thank you very much. We're going to be taking just one more person. And she's going to pick.
Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry I came late. I'm a Tara entrepreneur.
A little bit more clapping, a little bit more clapping. Sambaya.
Thank you, ma'am. I hope to grow and provide a world-class beauty salon that would care for people's hair and teach people how to treat their hair correctly. What I want to ask is, at what point did you decide to scale up? It's one thing to break even. It's another thing to make profit enough to start another business. But you've done that. So at what point did you decide to scale up?
So wanting to scale up sometimes is also it's a knowing, it's an intuition. Where you feel I'm bigger than this. I have more capacity. I have capacity for more. Sometimes it's also seeing the people that you have and see that they have more capacity. House of Tara staff, some of them own their own franchise, right? They can own their own franchise because I came to a place where I knew that this person can. So sometimes it's not about any business school that will tell you. It's about you having to know it. It's like for some of us where you meet your husband and the person you're supposed to get married to, you just kind of know. Someone will say, you God speaks to you. No. Well, I did not hear a voice saying this before. I just knew, right? And that may happen to you. The second thing is also about knowing your numbers. How did I know that I should put a second store? My first store, the rent had been increased. And when the rent was increased, the woman was constantly increasing the rent all the time, every year. And later on, I found out that the building, we had another landlord, obviously. Whatever the landlord's price the price the landlord gives her, she will give me more to pay. Okay? Even though she occupied more space. Right? And I thought to myself, I know this one will keep increasing my rent. Let me move out of this place. But I did a survey with my customers and I asked them, if we moved, how many of you would like us to be in Ikeja? How many of you would like us to be in VI? Then obviously the two places was either Ikeja or VI. It's not like now that the Lekki and all those things. So customers, I found out that 50% of people who we asked said Ikeja. 50% said VI. So it meant that 2 locations were required. So if we closed VI, we'll suffer. If we went to Ikeja, we'll lose VI customers. So we decided to go and open in Ikeja. What we now found out was our rent in VI opened a whole building in Ikeja. We have seen that same building today. We've been there we've been in that same building for over 10 years. By the time we paid the rent for that building, it became our biggest hub for medical school. One time somebody called me to ask whether I was at NYSC camp. Yes, because of the volume of people that used to go to that Ikeja. So if I did not do that, make that decision then, I would. So sometimes when you are scaling, it's also about market service, also about what are your customers asking for? What else do they need that they're asking you for every time? How are you mining that data that they're giving you? With mining the data, you can now make decisions. Plus also, financially. So I've said there's an instinctive part where it's, I'm bigger than this, or I have capacity for more, I want more, there's that. There's also doing a survey, asking your customers, see what customers are asking, what they are saying. So I've been creating an entire line. With beauty reps, with beauty entrepreneurs, we always ask them, what else, what other products? That by the information you give us, we create other things of the line, that's how we expand. And the last thing would be that, I think the first one is, lost my train of thought. The first one was instinctively, the second one was survey, and the third one was numbers, right? How much is your business generating? What capacity does it have? How much profit does it have? Many times we say, we don't have accountants, we cannot afford an accountant. Just go and see, take 3 friends who own small businesses, ask all of you, engage an accountant, pay the person, let the person get the software, put all your information inside so that you split the money. If it was going to charge 50,000 naira for one person, you pay 10, somebody else pays 10, another person pays, you will split it amongst yourself, 3 pays, I don't know what 3 divided by 50 is. If there was n before the number, I will tell you. Okay? So get an accountant so you can actually know how profitable your business is. In that space that you are, what you have to ask. Sometimes what do we do? What stops us from scaling?
I want us to give a round of applause. Okay, there's a man. So
you know I'm the mother of sons. So
okay,
I'm very particular about men also speaking up. We don't want to marginalize them.
Thank you very much. It's an honor being with you, Auntie Tara. I was earlier this week at the platform, and I was privileged to hear Uncle Fela also speak. So, in the week, I heard both of you. That's very lovely. All right, so I want to ask, what's your view about introducing family and friends in the business? Because I heard a lot of advice that it does not work out well, that you can't manage it. There's been a lot of advice that one shouldn't. And then in a situation where the business is even partnership,
between
myself and
a friend or a
friend, or very close friends. So what's your advice on that?
Okay, so
sorry, secondly, on behalf of my my table friend, okay. So she has a question that she has a staff that is very good, but at the same time very stubborn. So how do you manage that?
Leave that thing. Anybody that's very stubborn should go. They should what? They should what? They should what? They should what? You know why? From experience. They will still leave. But they will go after they are stressed because they are not stressed. So my dear, I have them now before. Now, when I see them come like, Lord of God. So don't let them stay. Character is everything. Character is everything. Like speaking about platform, I was talking about how when we are voting, we should make a choice to vote competence, ability, and character. Character is so fundamental. I always tell people I'd rather employ somebody who's well behaved and train them. Actually, that's what we do at Hospital. We train our people to collect somebody that's not excellent. Yeah? And we reward good behavior over the best makeup artist. Yes. So we may not be the best makeup artist, but when it comes to that person sells you, we're the best when it comes to that. In terms of when it comes to that person serves you, the way they interact with you, and it's real serving you. We actually serve you. what they call me also is SM. What's SM? Servant leader. So we understand service. We call our head office support office. You know why? Because we're not here to do big man. This office that is here is to support the makeup artists of the field. We're not here to be head office. No, it's not head office. It's support office. We understand the concept of service. So by HR standard now, if you cannot be a person of attitude, it stinks and it influences people. People that are influential. Hitler was influential, you know that. And he had influential leadership. He killed millions of Jews. So my dear, bye. Have the courage to do so. Because by letting her stay, you are rewarding her. What you're saying, this is okay. And we attract most of the people who are confident, not who are confident, not who are confident. No. Let them come, be competent them. For character, let them bring it from the house of their others. Amen? Amen. So let's go to family and friends. You know, if your partner is a friend, good friend, that's fine. You guys already have the terms of the partnership. Decided sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't have experience in partnership. But I have said you shouldn't employ House of Tara, anything in House of Tara, because my sister worked in House of Tara. And when she left, she told my nephew, my son, she told her nephew that, she didn't tell me this one, my son is not telling me. So my son said to me one day, he said, I said, oh, how are you coping in your new school? He says, well, I like it, but I don't like the fact that every time I go somewhere, people are always like, oh, that's brother, that's Glorious brother, that is David, but I know my brothers are popular. So he's telling me that his older brothers are popular in school, and it's like, I see people don't recognize that he's a person because of his two brothers. Then he wants to emphasize his point. He now says to me, you know, like Auntie Teresa, when she was working at House of Tara, people were always, anything she does, because she said his sister. No, because and the pressure was too much on her. So I said, well, how do you know that? She said, we speak all the time. She tells me, she told me when she went to me. So the reason why. Now my son didn't tell me, obviously she didn't tell me that I just think I'm going to work somewhere, but she was talking to her nephew and she shared that I don't want any relative of mine to be so pressured. Do you know what I mean? If she comes late, it's because she's Tara's sister. If she comes early, it's because she's Tara's sister. Any she was good or bad. Do you see? So from that standpoint, I decided that no, it won't happen again. It will not be bothered. But in Italy, they do it and it's working. That's my thing. In Italy, a lot of they run a lot of family businesses. Indians run family businesses, and it will work for some people, but it's a choice that I made that I will not do it. Okay. And if you make the choice to bring family in, you have to decide. They now do programs in business school for family-owned business. They know why. So maybe they'll be able to help people that want to build family businesses on how to do so. Okay? Friends, the same thing. I'd rather not employ a friend.
Thank you very much, Jan. You can say that we had a wonderful evening. You've been impacted. More Eureka moments have taken place. And we can see that indeed she is a servant leader because she's given all of herself just to answer those questions deeply. She's more about you being impacted, and you can see that from the way she's answered the questions. Now I want to say this to you, that every opportunity that is brought your way, you should maximize it. And one of the ways you can maximize it is make up your mind that even if I didn't ask the question tonight, I'm going to listen so deeply and intensely that even in between the lines, I'm able to learn something. And one Eureka moment I'm going to use to close this and allow it to go is that she's a hard worker to the core. Like the level of her diligence when it comes to work is scary. And when she wrote out that book, when she talked about how she has to deal with everyone reporting to her, I had to finalize with it myself. Are you ready for this? What you're seeing and the amount of work that it is going to demand from you. Opportunities like this will come again because training will continue to train, and then once in a while we'll be able to get her to sit with us and you're able to ask those questions.
but we want to say a great thank you to you, ma'am. And to everyone who has come out tonight, we want to say thank you. To thank you for being the journey, we want to say thank you very much. We still have a little session, but we're going to allow you to leave now. A round of applause, please. Thank you so much, ma'am. All right, so we're going to just round up, but you still have the opportunity to share your Eureka Moments from tonight at the red carpet. You can network, wine, and dine. Enjoy yourself. Vote of thanks from Steph.
But I don't think vote of thanks. But anybody must give vote of thanks, be sure of that. Vote of thanks. Vote of thanks. You should actually do it. On behalf of myself, Caroline, everybody training course, people watching you online from 419 countries. I want to say a big thank you to you. Thank you for the sacrifice of time. Thank you for pouring from your heart. Thank you because I know that you have so many things that you're doing, but you decided to spend time with us. And you didn't just come and just give us shady answers. You poured out from your heart. Thank you so much for this labor of love. We pray that your own children will find their own helpers and they will continue to open for them because of how you also help other people's businesses. We pray that your own business will continue to grow beyond your imagination and doors that you have not thought about will begin to open up for you. Every mistake that has made will be a blessing. Every limitation will continue to be shattered. You continue to shatter glass ceilings and you keep on inspiring Nigerian businesses, African businesses, and global businesses. Thank you so much.